Welcome to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent and Jody Bailey. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jody welcome
pastor, author, and human rights activist, Dr. Aaron Lewis.
And now, Brent and Jody Bailey.
Hey everybody, welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. It is Monday. I hope you're having a great day today. It is the week for us is just getting started, but we're heading out at the end of the week to Hawaii, and it couldn't be sweeter. I just can't be even more excited about it. Before we get into it, though, let's head over to the tech booth right now where Jody and Preston are sitting over there waiting.
Whoa.
So, guys, listen, got a great show planned for you today.
We do, yeah.
Dr. Aaron Lewis is here to talk about racial healing in America.
Yes.
You do not want to miss this.
Yeah,
It's
do
a
not.
powerful word today.
Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, we are getting ready to head out at the end of this week. We got a great week of shows for you, first of all. Let me just say.
Excited.
We're talking about racial healing today. Wednesday, we're going to have a special guest on to talk about moving on after emotional healing from trauma.
Yes.
And we're going to finish off the week with a fiction writer who also has written several books about moving past traumatic events in your life. So
you don't want to miss this week.
It's going to be a great week of shows.
Yep.
So anyway, as we get into it, what's going on in America right now?
Today
Jody?
is South Dakota Day.
Yay! All right.
Last week was North Dakota Day. This is South Dakota, and I have
And so
friends. Not
Mount
just
Rushmore.
Yes, I have family that lives in South Dakota.
Nice.
I've been there plenty of times. And, it's a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah.
I want to go very badly, though. So
Yep.
maybe that might be a little trek that we have to make.
It will be. Yeah, that would be great. Go up to Mount Rushmore.
And go up to Mount Rushmore, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is our food day is National Pretzel Day.
Ooh.
Peyton would love that.
Yeah, he would. Of
loves
course,
pretzels.
we're out of luck for that because we're on a no carb thing.
Yeah,
right
no
now,
carbs.
so-
Yeah.
And that's just about as pure carb as you can get.
It is.
Even though it's low in
good.
fat, it's pure
It's got
carb.
salt,
so
it's got bread, it's got carbs.
it's
Yep.
yeah.
It's all good.
What else
Yeah.
do you need?
So
So also it's National Kids and Pets Day.
well,
And
what does that entail?
Well, it entails, kids really letting your kids really enjoy their pets, or why don't you go to a shelter and pick out a great pet for your child? They would really appreciate that.
You guys should. We recommend it. We've had 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we have
But I will say this: there is something to say though, is about actually picking out the right pet
The right
for
pet
you.
for you. That's right.
So what we
know.
did is we asked them if we could go to this little grass area caged in, and we hung out with the dogs,
Yep.
and we decided which 2 we wanted.
Yep.
And we
we
knew right
did.
there
That's
and
exactly
then.
right.
What do you remember? What the determining factor was, Preston? Do you remember? Because you were the only one
Rosie.
there. Me and you.
Rosie went and gave us the ball back.
Yes, she brought the ball right back to us. yeah.
Everyone else just stared at
And
it.
Vinny was just hyper, so we figured Peyton would love that.
Vinny
so we
ran and jumped all around us.
Yep.
Yep. Vinny
So,
was excited.
Those are fond memories, right
yes,
there.
they
So-
really are.
I remember
So,
as soon as we got Vinny.
All right,
dropped
listen.
the leash.
Before we go any further, and we
But
go
I got
into the big segment, which is
Yeah.
Preston tells a joke.
Yeah.
Here's a little cool something that I
yeah,
found.
tell us.
Do you know where you can find the most nutritious food in America right now? Do you know where that is? I mean, if you're going to go anywhere to eat,
I do know.
where?
I'm pretty sure
Sprouts.
it's the cafeteria of school.
Bingo!
Whoa.
Did you cheat? Studies find that United States schools have the most nutritious food amongst places that we buy fruit from.
Wow, that's
If you
really
want to
cool.
find out where the most nutritious food is, it's the cafeteria at school.
Well, then I'm not going to feel so bad if my kids eat cafeteria food.
That's right.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm
That's right.
fine. I'm just gonna starve.
Is that what you got?
You never
got?
really want. It's because it's really nutritious.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah. All right, one more
All
thing,
right.
and then we're going to get into Preston's joke for the day. Sam's Club. Of course, we all love to go to Sam's, not
Yeah.
just because you can buy 50 rolls of toilet paper cheap or giant jars of peanut butter.
Yep.
It's the free samples. Come on, Costco
I
and
go
Sam's.
there for the samples.
Yes,
Yeah,
you do.
exactly. They've got a new thing that they're releasing. It is Kansas City style barbecue burnt ends. Okay, do you know what that is?
wow,
So you know when they have the big
yeah.
rack and then the ends are just a little bit burnt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you can buy a whole bag of those.
Oh
burnt
my
ends.
gosh.
So can you
Only
imagine?
at Costco.
Sam's Club.
Oh, sorry.
Can
Sam's
you
Club,
imagine
sorry.
the line for a sample of that? Oh,
Let's go to
so
Sam's.
I'm all about it. Let's
Yeah.
go. All right. Well, it is now time for one of our newer segments here on the show that has really gotten a lot of great response. And I'm really proud of not just Preston, but also Peyton. The boys have been on telling jokes. And so today we kick it on back into Preston Tells a Joke. This is the comedy stylings of
Are you ready?
our oldest son as he
Tells
makes his debut on the world stage. Son, Preston,
Go.
tell us a joke.
Okay. What did the buffalo say to his son before he left for college?
I know this one. I'm not going to say. It's a good one, though.
I don't know. Tell me.
Bye, son.
Oh, bye, son.
I'm bummed.
Awesome.
And then an arrow went through his son.
Oh, well, that's, dark.
Yeah, that got dark real quick. All right. That's Preston Tells a Joke. And now we have got a power-packed interview for you today. So let's jump in it and expand your search. My guest today is Dr. Aaron Lewis. He is an award-winning leader, helper, and speaker with a visionary message which he breathes and lives as a relentless human rights activist. He is a prolific author and a devoted member of the community, both globally and with his closest friends and family. He is the founder of Family Church. Dr. Lewis has preached in more than 1,000 churches around the globe. He is the founder of the Scribes Institute, where Greater Hartford children get the chance to jumpstart their lives from a higher perspective by mastering reading and writing. An educational warrior at heart, Aaron never stops learning and never stops sharing his valuable knowledge. He has also brought aid and education to developing communities, delivering books, clothing, and medical help to those that need it the most. Throughout numerous countries around the world, including Tanzania, South Africa, Colombia, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Panama, these children and people have received better schooling and even improved healthcare facilities because of Dr. Lewis's vision translated into action. Jody and I had the pleasure of meeting him at an Increase event a number of years ago when he actually played William Seymour in a program that we were doing there. He made a lasting impact on us, and we were so happy to see him speaking at the Health and Freedom Conference just a couple of weeks ago. Please welcome to the program Dr. Aaron Lewis. Hey, Dr. Lewis, how are you? It's great to see you.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here. It's great to be seen.
It's been a while. I know that we haven't seen each other in a number of years, but I know I was telling you before we were on, we were so happy to see you speaking at the conference and what your message has been lately. We're going to get to in just a minute. But first of all, how have you been? Those folks that are going to know you from the Increase events that listen to our program, what have you been up to?
I've been better than ever, man. I'm, still on the fighting the good fight of faith pathway. So never got off of that. I'm still there, man. And just doing a whole lot of other things. I'm doing lobbying in, the federal government as well as the state government on religious freedom. Our freedoms are being attacked. And so I needed to take action so that we protect our right to serve God and worship God, because I really believe that those freedoms are being eroded. Also, school choice, the ability for you to choose where your child goes to school and where your tax dollars are best spent. You're a great parent. You can make that decision yourself. The city shouldn't have to make that for you, or the government. And also a medical choice in that same vein, that you deserve the right to be completely and fully informed about what goes in your body. And so I've been lobbying on those three issues in the state of Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, and also on the federal level. So what I've been doing is I've been fighting for you, Brent. That's what I've been doing. I've been fighting for you and your family.
And we're extremely appreciative of the fight that you're waging for us. Not to mention pastoring a church, writing books, and traveling around the world speaking. It sounds like you just got all kinds of free time to just kind of relax and lay around.
I need some free time to get a tan. That's what I need.
Well, I know when you spoke at the Health and Freedom Conference, your platform recently has really taken what it's so sorely needed to be spoke about here is racial healing and unification between when there's no more division. So let's just jump right into it. What's going on with all the division right now, especially amongst the races here in America?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, what's happening with racial division in America is extraordinarily sad. It's bringing us back to a very, very unsettling place in our history.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I believe that politics is playing a role in bringing us back to that sore place for their benefit. What I mean by that is that when I can pit one person against another person, what happens is that I can divide a unity, and then once I divide that unity, I conquer. So I really believe that that many facets and areas of government wants to do things that do not benefit the whole, does not really work for the greater good. And the way for them to be able to do that and to prosper doing that is by making, Dr. Lewis fight, Brother Brent over stupid stuff, things that have no bearing. I mean, we can be the best friends in the world. We could have loved one another. And I hear that all over the country, people that are black and white were friends. They were in each other's weddings. Their kids grew together. And then now last year, because of unfortunate events like the event with George Floyd, which I clearly make the distinction that it is. I don't care who loses their life, a black person, a white person, or even under what pretense. And if it is under the pretense of police brutality, definitely that needs to be corrected. Reform needs to happen. And so,
Yeah.
But at the same time, that has been used, and not just that event, but other events of its nature, as the impetus to separate and divide people that would not do that. I mean, Brent, you're not going to shoot me. You're not going to kill me. You're not going to, put your knee on my neck. You're going to love me. I'm going to love you. And so we're not a part of that problem. But what happens is that they know, since you and I are not part of the problem, the powers that be want us to not be a part of the solution either. And being a part of the solution means that we stay together, right? We stay unified. They're like, no, Brent and Aaron can't stay unified because then our plan won't prosper. So we have to grow division. I gotta make Brent think that I hate white folks and think that all white people kill black people, and then they're going to make Brent believe that Aaron, is completely nervous, timid, and I'm going to rob you, and I'm going to mug you. It's crazy, dude. And I've seen families literally destroyed, man. And it's hurtful. I've seen white folks and their children who have joined, BLM, which for the sake of the record, started out as a really good organization that was bringing social awareness to a topic that had been overlooked, but has been completely infiltrated by a complete political ideology. It's not the same group that it was when Trayvon Martin died. It's not that same group. Yeah. And so like I said, when things evolve into something completely different, then we got to look at it differently. And so, now, that group has been used, honestly, for political gain. And they're going to even see it, and mark my word, I'm saying it prophetically, they're going to, in a very short amount of time now, since the elections are over, they're going to see that they were used they're going to see that they were taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of, a cheap trick. Okay, fine. We used your organization, get where we want to go. Okay, see you next lifetime. And so all of the division is very, very orchestrated. It's very planned. My sad position in all of this is that the church is not doing more to show that we're bigger and better than that the church is not doing more to distinguish our position. I mean, come on, man. After all, Jesus is love, right?
Yeah.
God is love. I mean, we're just going back to the basic tenets of our faith. And so when we don't demonstrate to a dying world how we're supposed to act in all of this, man, shucks, we should be showing racial unity, like Googleplex, like on steroids.
Yeah, yeah.
Unity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the church has failed royally, is that we don't do enough to demonstrate the opposite of what they're trying to push. And so that's where we end up in major, major problems, because like I've said again and again, we keep looking to government to fix our problem.
Yeah.
We're not recognizing that not always, but very often, government is our problem. and so when they become the problem, they're certainly not going to remedy the situation.
I know that when you were speaking there, I know that I think it was this last week that Breonna Taylor's mother herself came out and said that she felt like she had been used by some of the folks in the BLM movement, and it's really sad. I think that we both are in agreement with that the beginning of it was absolutely needed, but now this whole thing has taken that sad turn like that. What is the answer? What do we do to solve that?
Well, I mean, for one, we have to address it. We need to work through this. And that's one of the things that people are not doing. Listen, so let me give you a little caveat about my personal life, just to illustrate the example. So one day, about 4 months ago, I woke up and I weighed more than Barney. Right? I'm like, what the heck happened, right? And I'm looking around just to see if I turned purple. And I said, okay, something's wrong, dude. And so basically what happened during the pandemic, right? Just gonna be honest, put out there, I ate too much.
Yeah.
Why? Because there wasn't nothing else for me to do.
Yeah, guilty. Yeah.
So I said, this is absolutely insane. I didn't do a lot. All these closures, made it so that it wasn't a whole lot of activity we could do. And then the little activity that we could do, if you weren't masked or if you weren't staying about 65 feet away from somebody, they'd be freaking out. So it just kind of led you into your house to just do what you do. And I ate like crazy. And long story short, I gained 15 pounds. Okay. That was some real strategic work. It's not easy to do. And so I woke up one day and I got on the scale and I was like, good God, like what in the world happened, right? So immediately, and really before I got on the scale, I put on a suit and I had to check with the scale to make sure that, that everything was true about my suit, because I said, this is nothing but a demonic possession. How in the world can I fit in this suit?
Yeah.
And so the scale gave me the answer. The scale said, you gained 15 pounds, dude. That's why you can't fit the suit. So I had to make a decision. Do I continue doing the same thing that I was doing, or do I make a drastic change? So I made a drastic change, and I got involved with this deal called Herbalife. I'm not a distributor. I just buy it. It's called Herbalife, and they're shakes, right? And they're shakes that actually taste good. And so you eat a shake and drink a shake in the morning, perhaps in the afternoon, and you eat a sensible dinner. I'm glad to tell you, I lost 17 pounds, right?
Hey.
So I'm feeling so great about that, right? But here's the deal. That's been over the past 2 months. I put in the work. You get my point? That's my point. Put in the work. And so often we don't want to put in the work. We just want things to get better and not work. No, when things are real bad, it's a lot of work that has to become a part of the solution. And if we're not willing to work, even if things get better for others, it won't get better for us. We have a responsibility to do the work. I even recently launched a program where I'm teaching it myself. I have a syllabus It's virtual, and so anybody in the world can actually sign up for the course. It's called the Humpty Dumpty Disorder. And and what I do, I talk about BLM. I talk about, the grandmas and the mothers that have been estranged from their granddaughters and their sons because of race. Mom, you're a racist, and I'm teaching in this 4-week course why your kids think you're racist, right? Even though you're not racist, but you need to still understand how they think.
So
because,
good.
like I said, you're not going to get anywhere by saying, I'm not racist, right? Okay, it doesn't matter that you say you're not racist. It matters that you understand why they think you are. So then you can deal with how to fix it. And so, the next generation, I have 5 adult children. And of my 5 adult children, the ideologies between each of them are very, very, very different. My oldest daughter, who obviously would be closer to me, she's a doctor of veterinary medicine. She does surgery on animals. She thinks very conservatively like I do, right? We'll go down all the way to my youngest child, who's 21. Well, she doesn't think quite as conservatively as I do. So understand, when you're talking about like 21, 23, 24, 25, and 20, 28, you get what I'm saying? That everybody's all over the place. And then depending on when they went to college, when they went to high school, when they went to grade school, who they were influenced by, you understand what I'm saying? You and I, we remember Run DMC. And you and I, we don't even know who the new rappers are.
Yeah.
We ain't even up on it. You get what I'm saying? If a rapper came out last year, you don't know who the heck he is. I don't know who he is, but we know Run DMC. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We even know who Snoop Dogg is. So who we were exposed to, who we were indoctrinated by is different than who our children are. I grew up with Aerosmith. I loved Aerosmith. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up with R.L. Speedwagon. Do you understand what I'm saying? Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
So we come from different eras. And so when you completely divorce yourself from the reality of the fact that, yes, this is my son and he came from me, but he didn't go to school with the people I went to school with. He didn't listen to my music. We have horrible news today. Yes, I said it. Horrible news. We have the worst presentation of media that I've ever seen in my life. I grew up with Dan Rather. I grew up with Walter Cronkite. Even my oldest daughter, who's a physician, she ain't never heard of neither one of them. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
So then how do I bring her into the conversation about my values and my morals and my ethics? It's called work. And so
good.
And so we can't get to where we need to be until we are on a even playing field. You might know what the Dewey Decimal System is, right? If you know it, that means that you at least went through an era of knowing what real research is.
So
Guess
good.
what? Kids today, you know how they research? It's called Google.
Yeah.
They trust everything Google says. Right now, the entire internet has been corrupted, right? And been conflated. It's a cancel culture. People lie all over the internet. So if they go to Google and get all their answers, they're going to inevitably get wrong answers. So can we get mad at them for doing that? Can't get mad at them. We got to teach them.
Come on.
And they just don't know. And so I think that our entire culture has become grossly lazy because, my dad, he died a year and about 5 months ago, 89 years old, a bishop in the Church of God, preaching for 66 years, pastoring, man. And my dad ain't never used a computer in his life. He ain't never went to an ATM machine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A completely different generation. But one thing he did do, he taught me something. He sat me down and he taught me ethics. He taught me values. He taught me. And that's what I think that, and I talk about that in my course about the Humpty Dumpty disorder, that parents have lost the sensibility of teaching their children. Let me tell you why. Because it is what it is. Because when this right here came out, see that? You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
When that came out, this became the parent.
Yep.
It became the moral guide, right? If you didn't want to talk to your kid, you don't want to go shoot football with your kid, guess what you do? You give them this, or you give them an iPad, and you just send them over in the corner and tell them, hey, we have become completely lazy. We've become dismissive, and it's our fault, man. we're going to change when we put the work in. When people sign up for my course, I'll help them. And my course is 100% about helping people. Anybody that knows me and knows my insane schedule, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I know that right now that the race will be the final battleground for our country. If we don't win the race war, we are done. We're done.
So
and
good.
This isn't or that we should have won already, but there again, we're not being the church. If we were being the church, we would have known this is nothing but the plan of the enemy. We're not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
But instead, we were being government. We were being municipalities. We were being politicians. And we really have to be the church.
Folks, my guest today is Dr. Aaron Lewis, and this message is so sorely needed for our country. It's needed for the church. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen right now. If you'd like to get some information about the Humpty Dumpty program that he's talking about, you can actually do that by going right here to his website. You can go to Family of God CT. I guess that's for Connecticut. It's familyofgodct.org. You can then / Humpty-Dumpty-disorder, and you can get more information about this incredible program. If we had more time, I'd let him teach the whole thing. You can follow him on Facebook. It's at the Family Church. On Twitter at Dr. Aaron Lewis 1. He's also available on YouTube. Just do a search for Aaron Lewis. There is so much information here, and we have got to have you come back on and continue this conversation because it's just outstanding, and I'm so glad to hear it. And the things that we will get into on the next time is we'll talk about Jesus still being the Savior of the world, or if we've replaced him by the government.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Aaron, it's so great to see you. I pray that you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you in person real soon.
Real soon, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, that's Pastor Aaron Lewis, and now let's stop for directions. Today, Aaron talked about in such a powerful way, putting in the work. The work for what? Understanding each other. Nobody likes being prejudged. I've grown up being larger and louder than most people in any given room. I can honestly tell you that it's the most aggravating thing for people to assume things about me that have never even entered in the realm of my imagination. They usually say, oh, you want more to eat? Oh, are you mad? Oh, I bet you expect everybody to just get out of your way, don't you? Oh, I bet you don't feel very good because you're so big. It's a feeling that I don't like. I can't imagine what it feels like to be stereotyped as to what my motivation for being in a certain area of town is. I can't even imagine what it's like to be labeled as suspicious because I'm wearing a hoodie. I can't even imagine what it's like to be judged for the feelings that are in my heart based on the color of my skin. Unfortunately, we're getting to that place for everyone. We are not called to judge someone whether they think, believe, and act like us. And we for sure are not supposed to judge people because they don't look like us. We should be looking to understand everyone for who they are right now and understand that even though some people are judgmental, some people are criminals, some people are racist, and some people are bad, not everyone is. Some people may never know what your struggle is, but that doesn't mean that they hope for bad things to happen to you. Jesus himself said in Matthew chapter 7 that you will know them by their fruits, not if they have the same bumper sticker and voting affiliation that you do. Take the time, do the work, get to know people for who they are. They may not be as different as you think. Stop believing the narrative that everyone from certain groups and races are all the same. We all love, we all live, and we all act independently of others. So let's do the work to get to know everybody anyway. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. My thanks to Dr. Aaron Lewis for an incredible perspective on the healing that we as a country need to see. Check out his program, The Humpty Dumpty Disorder, today. Thanks again to Preston and Jody for another awesome show and a great job over there at the tech booth. Join us next time for another power-packed program. Until then, I hope you found what you were looking for as you took the time today to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We are available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop